Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So now today we are going to make a project, and basically in that project what is the idea is that this is a project of a rolling a dice game. Okay, so in that basically what will happen, you will be playing the dice game with a bot. Okay, so in the previous Sunday I just told you a project on Wednesday, I just told you a project. In that, basically, the idea was that I just told you how to simulate a die, right? I just told you the dice simulation, that basically how to rotate a dice, right? I just told you that thing. Now, today we are going to make a dice game. That game you will be playing with a bot, okay? So, this is the whole idea of that game, which I just gave you right now, okay? So, this is going to be a very interesting game. So, stay with me right here and let's start coding with, okay? Now, firstly, what I would be needing is that I would be needing to import the libraries that I would be requiring. Okay. So for that, my first library which I would be requiring is the random. Okay. So here I would be importing the random module. Fine. Now, second, what I would be importing here is that I will be writing import time as t. Let's say here I just gave one short form to time also, and that is, let's say, t. Okay. I just wrote import time. Now, time is also one of the modules which I have just imported here. Fine. So I just use two of my modules, that are random and time. Right. Now, what I would be doing here is that firstly, I would be making some functions here. Okay. So one function would contain all the text formats, like basically what is the procedure that is going to take place. And another function will calculate the whole of the calculations and whole of the procedure of, and basically what will the mathematical operations are going to be there. And next function will contain all of that things, right? So what I'm just gonna do here is that firstly I would define the function that is going to contain the calculations, okay, and after that I'm just going to define the function that will contain the write-ups. Fine. So here I'm just going to define a function, let's say diff, and the name for my function, let's say action, okay, and in the bracket, so let the bracket be empty for here right now. I would just pass something afterwards, right? So let's say what I'm just going to take is that I'm going to take one variable, and let's say the name for my variable right now is let's say that is h underscore sum. Okay, h underscore sum is the name for the variable which I have just taken. That is, I just told that we'll be playing with a bot. So one would be the human and another would be the bot. Okay, so h underscore sum for means for the sum of the human, right? And what else I have? I have for the bot also. So I will just writing b underscore sum. Okay, and I would be assigning both the values as 0. Okay, so this is also a procedure that if you just want to assign same value both the variables, so you can just add on like this. At firstly you can just use the name of the variable, then you can just put the equal to sign. You can use the another name of the variable, and then you can again put the equal to sign and put the 0. Fine, this is the whole idea, right? So here I would just write my print statement that as my like game starts, so that game asks me to it says basically that start playing the game now. Okay, I will just write start playing the game now. Okay, and even I would just put some exclamatory mark here. Fine. Now what I just want here is that now I just want that whatever the statement should come, whatever the procedure should take place in my program, that should like have a little bit of timing in that. Okay, let's say 1 second or 2 seconds. Let's say my first statement has been printed to me, that is start playing the game now, and after that I just want that a 1 second like stoppage should come, and then my second statement would be printed, and then the further programming should happen. Okay, so in that case at particular times I would use the sleep function. Okay, so that is why I just imported time. So here I would be using t dot sleep, and in bracket I would be using 1. Now what I will be doing here is that I will be applying my for loop. Okay, so for die. Now here basically we'll be giving some options also, that basically how many times you want to roll your dice. Okay, how many times you want to roll that. Okay, so here I'm writing for dice, and let's say let it be die. Okay, so for die in range, and basically I'm just gonna give one range here. So that range should be 0 comma, and let's say choice is one of the variables in which I would be storing some values. Okay, so I just wrote here 0 comma choice, and I would put the colon and come down here. Fine. Now what I would be just making one parameter, let's one variable. Let's say that variable is person. Okay, one person would be playing and another bot would be playing, right? So for that, let's say I just made a variable and that is person here. Fine. So what I would be using, I would be using my random module here. Now why I would be using, because I mentioned that firstly you will be playing, then the bot will be playing. So basically there the random numbers would be coming automatically, right? As soon as I'm just gonna like complete my whole program and run this program, so automatically the numbers would come for me also and for that bot also. Now whatever the numbers you are going to enter, it will take up sum of both the numbers. Let's say you are given the choice of two dice, okay, two times. So in that case, it will generate you two random numbers and according to that, it will add up both. It will do the same thing for the human also and it will do the same thing for the bot also. And at last, whosoever is having the highest score, so that person will be the winner for the game, right? So this is the idea. So person is equal to, and here I will be using rand in, and in bracket I will be passing the 1,6, let's say, okay. Right. Now what I'm just left with here, so again I would just use my sleep function. So I mentioned that we'll be using the sleep function frequently, okay. Now after this, what I just want to print here is that, so as soon as it is printed and the random integers are generated, then what we want that the like statement should print it that you got this number, okay. It should also tell us that okay, you got this number, fine. So in that case I would be writing here for the first one. Okay, not like not human or bot, because I'm just not gonna make any different functions, okay. So for this I would be using yeah, here I'll be using human got and I'll be putting the colon, fine. That is okay. And here I'll be putting the comma and here I'll be using my variable and that is person which I had made. Fine. So this is the idea behind this one. And what I would be using here is that I would be using my variable that is each underscore sum. Okay. And I would be applying the plus sign here so that whatever the score is coming, right? Whatever the values are coming, whatever random integers are being generated, that should add upon here, right? So now just listen to me very carefully right now, that you may just, some of you may just like get some errors on this line, okay. So basically you need not to leave any space between this plus and equal to sign. As I am writing here, you need to just copy that same thing, okay, because this is the correct sentence. If you are going to give any space between this plus and equal to sign, so it will show you the error, okay. So make sure not to give any space between the signs, right? That is okay. And now I would just come out of my for loop and here I would be again using my time sleep and bracket 1, fine. Now I have some statements to be printed, okay. As soon as this thing is done, right, now what I just need to do is that I need to print the final scores, right. So in that case, print, I would be writing the print and I would be putting this, and I just want a new line, okay. So I just write backslash in and here I would be writing that uh, total 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 sum of, let's say, human is, okay. And I would just put the colon here and I would just put the comma and I would use my variable in which I was just like storing the thing. So that was h underscore sum, fine. So this was a variable, right? So now I have just used h underscore sum. So now here what I would be doing, I would be again using that sleep function, so t dot sleep and in bracket it is 1. And now what I would be doing, now it's the chance for the bot, right? For the chance for the human will come, so I have just written the whole program for the human. Now second chance will be for the bot, okay. Now I would just want to print the statement and in that basically I would be adding print backslash n and here's the n, right. So what will be printing that now it's the turn, okay, turn for the bot, okay. Let's say I just like wrote this statement, print now it's the turn for the bot, right. And again I would just use my sleep function, so in t dot sleep and in bracket it is 1. Right. Now what I am left with here, I again need to make one another variable, one another for loop, and that for loop will consist for the bot, okay. So now I would again write for I in range and in bracket I would be writing 0 comma twice. Now only difference would be I would be changing the name for the variables, okay. Just 1 second, let me quickly see the alignment. Yes, alignment is fine. Okay, so just come down here and here I would be firstly using that bot, okay. So I would be using the variable as bot. So bot is equal to, and here I would be again using that random variable. So the random dot rand int, and in bracket it would be 1 comma 6, right? So 1 comma 6 are the same values which we had passed in the human also, right? Now what I'm just left with, I would again add my sleep function. So t dot sleep, and in bracket I would be using the 1 second. Now just make sure that whatever the values you are writing in the sleep function, that are always in the seconds only, okay? So these are always seconds, not like minutes are not added here. If you just want to enter any minutes, so you just need to write 60 seconds, or either you just want to like add 2 minutes. So in that case you need to write 60 multiplied by 60 and all that things like that, right? So t dot sleep and bracket run 1. Okay, so now what print statement do I need to print here? At previously what we had printed, let's quickly see. So previously I had printed that human got. Okay, now I'll be printing that bot got, and here I'll be putting the colon, and here I put comma, and the variable name is bot, right? And now what I'll be doing is that I'll be using b underscore sum plus is equal to bot, that is bot, right? This is the same procedure which we have followed for the previous one, right? Now what I would be doing here is that now I will be again be initializing some more things which we had just done previously. So just let me quickly show you that thing, right? Now I'll be using the sleep time also and all that things, right? So just let's come down here for a while, and here I'd be using, coming out here I'd be using t dot sleep, right? T dot sleep, and in bracket I'll be passing here as 1. Right, so now what print statement do I just wanted to print? Now here I'll be using the print statement that backslash n. So previously what I had just used, I had used total sum for the human is. So I would be using total sum for the bot is. Okay, now just let me quickly calm down so that you are able to see properly. And here we're putting the comma, and I will be storing that in the b underscore sum, right? This is the variable in which I'm storing the whole sum, right? Now what I'm just left with, t dot sleep. And let's see here in the bracket, I just passed the t dot sleep as 2 seconds. Fine, that is okay. Now what result I also want to like print the final result, right? That if this is like if the value like b underscore sum is greater than h underscore sum, then what to print, otherwise then what to print, okay? So here I'm just using the shorthand if else condition. I hope you just remember about the shorthand if else conditions which we had discussed, right? Now here I'm going to use that same thing, right? So make sure to just have a proper look over that thing. So result is equal to, result, and okay, so I would just taking as, let's say, total. Okay, so total is equal to, right? Now what variable, sorry, what things I just need to write here? I would put the firstly here as colon. Okay, I would put the backslash n. Okay, so here I will be writing you win. You win in the sense that basically the human win. Okay, if the first condition is true, so human win. And now what is my condition? That if my condition is that if h underscore sum is greater than b underscore sum, then what do I need to print? I need to print that human 1. Okay, and instead of win I would just write human 1, right? Now what is my next condition? My next condition I will be using here as else. In the else what I will be using? So basically in the else I will be putting the semicolon backslash n, and here I would be using bot 1. Right, now this is okay. Now what about if now my next condition which I will be putting here is that if, and okay, so single I, or just 1 second, yeah. So if, and then I will be using sum. Okay, if h underscore sum is less than b underscore sum, then what to print? So then what to print? Then this is the thing which you need to print. Okay, that is bot 1, and after that I need to use the else condition, and here I'll be using else. Else what it is there? It's a tie. So here I'll be using it's a tie. It's a tie between human and bot. Fine. So this is the nested if else condition which I have just used, that if the sum for this sum for human is greater, then print me this thing, otherwise print me this thing. Fine. And I simply need to print my total. So print and then total. Fine. And here what I will be using? I will be using t dot sleep. Sleep it for a 1 second, let's say. Fine. So here I just completed my first part of this program, and that was the action one. And now in the bracket I will be passing the parameter, and that is choice. Fine. So here I just wrote the whole code, whole source code, whole program for the functioning of the game, right? Now what I am left with, I am left with another function, and that is play. Okay, now here I'll be using another function, and that is play. Okay, I need to put the colon here and now come down. Fine. So here what I'll be doing is that I'll be just defining some parameters. Let's say die is equal to 0. Okay. Now, here let's say it's another parameter, that is rolling. So rolling is equal to, and I'll just put the semicolon and put the space, right? Now come down here. Here I will just give some condition that while die is equal to 0. My first condition is that while die is equal to 0, then here I would be taking a variable. Okay, and now this is the same variable which I have passed in the above function, right? This I have just passed this choice variable as a parameter here, right? So now I am just using that what to store in this choice, right? So choice is equal to, now here I want to take the integer input because I just told that it is a number game, right? Rolling or like basically dice game, right? So in dice what we have only numbers. So I am taking I'm taking my data, I'm taking my input in the integer format, fine? So int input, and again in the bracket I would be using let's say I just want to write how many times you want the dice to be rolled. Okay, how many times you want the dice to be rolled. Okay, and let's say here I just gave a limit. Let's say my limit is tell me about 1 to 5. Okay, 1 to 5, right? I would just come down here and just let me quickly go back so that you're able to see. Now the turn for my conditions start here, so I would be using my condition if choice. Okay, if choice greater than 0 and choice less than 6, as I have used my condition for 1 to 5 here, right? So here I have just used in 1 to 5. So in that case here I will be using choice greater than 0 and less than 6. Okay, even if you just want to use equal to, then you'll be using choice less than equal to 6. Fine. So here I'm just not using that thing. So here I'll be using the function that is action, and in bracket I would be passing the choice variable. Fine. Now I would just come here, I would just break my statement from here. Again I would just come back and I would just use my else part here. And just let me quickly go above so that I can just use it properly. Right, else. Now what to add in the else condition? So here I will be using print. Now what to print in this statement? That if the user has not entered the number between this choice, then what should I print? Then I would be just printing that please enter the correct choice. Okay, let me scroll this. Right, please enter the correct choice, right? Okay, now here I would just again come back this side. Just let me quickly go back from here. Okay, right, now I would just come out of my condition. Okay, I would just come out of my while condition, and now here I would be using some more things. Okay, now basically my first print statement that I would be using here is that, now I just want to ask the user that do you want to continue the game or you do not want to continue the game, right? So I was writing that statement. Okay, so here I'd be using do you want to continue the game. Okay, and just let me come here this side. Okay, do you want to continue the game, right? And in the bracket what I would be passing, okay, just let me quickly put a question mark, and here I would be writing, let's say yes slash no. These are the two choices which the user have. Do you want to continue the game or not? Yes or no, right? Okay, now while I would just use my condition while roll not okay, while roll not equal to, and here I have just used yes, right? Now if the user has not entered yes, then what to do? Then here you use that variable that is roll is equal to, and in that case basically, okay, I just had made the variable for the rolling. Okay, my variable was rolling, so let me quickly write that here, otherwise it will show me the mistake. Okay, so rolling, and here I would be using input. Okay, input, and in bracket dot lower and again the bracket, and here I'll be using my capitalize function. So capitalize and again the bracket. Fine, that is okay, that is done here. And now my condition comes here is that if roll is equal is sorry not roll, it's rolling. If rolling is equal to S, that is basically if the user has entered the condition as yes, okay, then what to do, and I will just keep my Y here as capital and even here as capital. Fine. If the condition is not like if the user has done yes for rolling, then again go to my play function, and if this condition is false, then go to else here. And what to print, you need to print that, let's say we'll just give some greetings at the last. It was wonderful, let's say it was wonderful playing with a bot. Fine. Let's say this is the greetings which we just gave at the last, that it was wonderful playing with a bot. Okay. And now what I would just do, I would just break my statement from here. Okay. And now I would just come down and come out of my function, each and every function, and here simply I would just call my play function. Right. So this is basically, here we have just completed the whole code, and I hope you just got the idea how this code works, right? I hope you just got the idea that how to write the excuse me, how to write the things here, right? So just let me quickly once check about the variables, that about that rolling one, right? Because we are just making a little bit mistake. Now it's fine, no issues with that, right? So what I will be just doing, I will be saving my program here for a while. So control plus S, and then I would just go to my specified folder where I have saved all my programs. So just let me quickly go into that place. So here it is the Sublime project, and then here I have all the ones, right? So here what I would be doing is that I would be doing the shift plus right click. So after that I will be just going to the option that is open PowerShell window here. Fine. I'll be just zooming in a file so that you are able to see whatever we are just writing here. Fine. So I will be just running my programs. So, for that I'll be using the command that is Python and my project name. So in my case my project name is project1, and that is .py. Okay, so my first thing that come here to me is that how many times you want the dice to be rolled. Okay, and it gave me option between 1 to 5. Let's say I just wrote here as 3. Okay, now it is saying start playing the game. Now it is automatically doing, right? I'm just not doing anything. This my hands are here. Fine. So human got 2, human got 1, human got 5. So these are the 3 random values that generated here. Fine. Next what came? Next came the total sum of human is 8. So 5 plus 2 is 7 and 7 plus 1 is 8, right? Now after that automatically it came. Now it's the turn for the bot. Okay, so bot got 1, 5 and 1. So the total for this is 7, right? So what is the final output which we just got here? Okay, just let me quickly zoom out a little so that I can just, yeah, you are able to see right whole program right now. Okay. Now it's the turn for the bot. So bot got 1, 5 and 1. So the total sum for the bot is 7. Now my condition is that the score for the human is greater than the score for the bot. So here I got my final output, that is human 1. Now it is asking me, do you want to continue? Let's say here I just wrote yes. Okay, let's say I just wrote yes. Okay, let me just scroll down so that now you are just able to see the things a little bit more clearly. Right. Now again it came, how many times you want to the dice to be rolled. Let's say, oh, okay, I'm just so sorry. I just did enter. Okay, just let me quickly do it once more. I would just let me just clear the window for a while. Clear. Right. And now here I would just run my program here. That is, I would just use the command, and that one is Python project1.py. Okay, now it is again asking me that how many times you want the dice to be rolled. Okay, let's say in my case, I want the dice to be rolled 2 times. I will just write here as 2. Now just see that everything is going to be done automatic. I'm just not going to press any key, okay. So it is firstly showing me that start playing the game now. After that, it is showing me that human got, again human got, then the total sum for the human is 9, right. Then it is the turn for the bot. So bot gave this value, it got this value, right. So total sum for the bot is 6, right. And after that it compare that which is having the higher value. So human is having the higher value, that is 9, right. So in that case we got the answer that human 1. and now it is again asking me that do you want to continue the game. So here I would enter no, and here at last it is showing me that it was wonderful playing with the bot. Fine. So this is basically how you just can like make your own game for this bot. Okay, now here basically I was just not playing any game, right? The numbers for the human and even the numbers for the bot, both were getting automatically. I would not using any key. So this is nice, right? That your whole program is running automatically. You need not to press any key. You are sitting idle and the things are going on, right? This is the wonderful thing for this program. Fine. So here we had just seen that how we can just use random and the time. Only two very simple modules to make a nice game, right? So here we had seen the dice game in which basically we had played with a human and a bot, right? So these were the two cases in this one. And about the rolling of a die, that basically how a dice rolls. So that we had already seen previously on the Wednesday's video. Okay, if you just want to go and have a look over that, so just go and have a look over that about the dice simulation, right? So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.